You are now watching the No Cell Roundtable. Here are your hosts, Joe Monroe and Chris Sack.
Oh, it is Friday. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and everybody out there in the world to the No Cell Roundtable. We are going to have a great time tonight. We got a lot in store. As with me, as always, my co-host, my good friend. He is a wizard, so I better shut up or else he's going to cast fireball on me. The wizard, CZ. What's going on, CZ?
Man, I'm feeling good. A little tired, but I'm feeling good. We got a lot to talk about. Lots going on today.
Right. And we're not alone. We got the Knights of the Round Table back together again. We got Rob from Confusion Wrestling. We got Mike D from Wrestling from the 313. We got my good buddy, co-CEO of the Wrestling Society Network, Professor Bear. And we got our good buddy from the west coast of Canada, Samp, in the house. What's going on, gentlemen?
What up, though?
I am so ready to roast somebody. I'm just ready.
Do that, Jay. The Jay Uso. Oh, here we go. All right. So, man, what a day. In the worlds of, oh, good Lord.
Howdy!
Well, we know who our mini is of this group. Good. Thank you, Rob.
I'm old. I know what that is.
All right. Well, we do got a lot to talk about. The No Cell Roundtable. CZ, you got the first topic of the night. Who are we going to talk about? Or what are we going to talk about?
Well, I have the perfect person to talk about to start things off. But before we get there, I believe there's an old friend who wanted to say something to you, Joe. Old friend of yours.
Old friend of mine?
Yeah.
I didn't know I had any old friends. All right. Let's pull it up.
If it isn't my old friends here live at the Joe Monroe Show. That's right, folks. It's me. It's the best beard in podcasting, the Just 10 Credible, here because hell hath frozen over and I have returned to the Joe Monroe Show. But, unfortunately, I can't be there live and live in color, so I thought that I would send in my thoughts about a great man. Some would say a perfect man, Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. Now, I could talk all day long about his great WWF matches, but all of you guys are going to do that anyway. I could talk all day long about his great WCW matches. You guys are already going to do that. But Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig, is the only man to ever take the beast down in the sky in a plane, in the plane ride from hell, guys. Mr. Perfect's a guy that I respect a lot. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Should have lived a lot longer, was doing some great work in TNA before, unfortunately, he passed away. And I just got to give a shout-out, man. When I heard you guys were talking about Mr. Perfect, I could not miss it. So, here I am. Here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. And that's 10, and I guess that's 5. Also, check out Till 5 Wrestling. It's much better than the Joe Monroe Show. But you be the judge of that for yourself. From one perfect 10 to one perfect man, that's for you, Curt Hennig. Joe?
Whoa.
Well, fuck you too, pal. Anyways.
Did he say he has
that was
the best
10 from
beard
Till
in
5
podcast?
Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Best beard in pop. What do you think about that, CZ?
I know at least 2 people that could give him a run for his money, and one of them is in the room tonight, and that's me.
Yeah, and one is a friend of the Squared Circle, so let's not
Death
tick off
match.
that guy, shall we?
Death match with Cranders.
What
Light tube
Oh,
to the beard,
Jesus.
baby.
are we going to have, a beard versus beard match instead of hair versus hair?
Main event anywhere in the country.
Oh, good night, Irene. Well, CZ, as you and Tam put it, we're going to talk about Mr. Perfect. Gentlemen, what is your first initial thoughts when you hear the words Mr. Perfect?
For me,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, I think all around athlete, I think should have been more. He should have held more world titles than he did. He was taken too soon. That is my thoughts when I heard Mr. Perfect.
I'll say,
we lost Joe.
we lost Joe.
That's okay. We'll keep
All
it
right.
going. He'll come back.
We got a wizard. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off what Professor Bear said. He's a guy that should have been a world champion. He was a great athlete. If you saw his vignettes that he would do with WWF, when he was on the basketball court with Felton Spencer from the T-Wolves, the thing he did with Wade Boggs, and when he threw the football and then ran and caught it, and just everything that he did was perfect. You know what I'm saying? He even got a short on YouTube. He was coming in the ring and he threw the towel on Mr. Hughes' shoulder and it landed on his shoulder so perfect. It was just like, you know what I'm saying? He just perfect. You know what I'm saying? And he had a good run in WCW, but I think his WWF run is what I remember the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Like everything you guys are saying is on the money. But for me, it's that gum, spitting out the gum and swatting at it. You know, I still do that to this day.
Yeah.
It's just like, and every time it's always perfect, and you say perfect at the end, right? So it's just everything he did in the ring. Absolutely. I mean, going back to his tag team days with Scott Hall back in the AWA days, right? So, you know, but for me, it's that gum swat. I think that's like a forever thing. It's always going to be there, and it's always going to be associated with him for me, anyways.
Definitely.
Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of the World is my first thought of Mr. Perfect. He was the Intercontinental Champ, and as I became cognizant of the wrestling world outside of oh, Hulk Hogan's having a match. Forgive me because I was 5 or 6, but the Mr. Perfect was the first IC champion that I actually recognized as an IC champion at the time, and he just, to me, just seemed like he held the belt forever outside of the brief time he dropped the title to Kerry Von Erich before ultimately basically making Bret Hart a made man in the WWE. So he's always kind of been on my radar as a youngin', and going so far with the West Texas Rednecks in WCW, my friends in high school and I were just just loved the heck out of it, just because it was so corny, but in the case of the song, it was just so catchy too that you couldn't not sing Rap is Crap, and then especially it echoed for us Hicks in the cornfields of Illinois. So and then. And I'm not even going to talk about his AWA career or the fact that he main evented shows in Australia against Dennis Rodman too. So maybe we'll cover that here in a bit.
And considering at that time the NWO was very hip hop, and that whole crowd was geared that way, so to come out with that at that time was perfect as well.
Yeah, it was.
Samp, you mentioned the gum spitting. I always liked the pencil flip that Pat McAfee has now stolen from him. That was just excellent. But to go off something that you guys haven't mentioned, he has in my opinion, one of the best heel turns in WCW when he smashed Ric Flair's head in the steel cage.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very true.
I mean, you couldn't. Oh, go ahead, Bear.
No, I was gonna say, it was, and I really hate to be this guy, but it was done so damn perfect because you thought, okay, the Horsemen are about to have a resurgence, and just to this day, when I watch that, I still don't understand how Flair didn't really get hurt by that damn door slamming in his head. I can't figure it out.
Well, the man did survive a plane crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course it led to the infamous not my dog spot, not my liver spot, but my spot.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys that is, you think it's like, how come he was never a world champion wherever, well, between WWF and WCW? I mean, come on.
But I guess my counterpoint to that would be, like, where would you pencil him in, really? Like, especially because he lost a handful of years to the Lloyd's of London insurance deal. I mean, his back injury.
Well, for me, that, and I always say that the Hogan run of the long period Hogan held the title, it could have meant so much more if he dropped it to a few different heels. And Mr. Perfect would have been ideal to drop it to, because he was prolific at wrestling, and that would have helped cement Hogan just more, because let's face it, what is it? The 5 moves of doom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would have gave Hulk that much more credibility, at least in my estimation.
When I think of people who have not held the world championship in the two big companies back in the day, he's number one, and there's only one other person that makes that list for me, and that's Scott Hall.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yep.
I think the thing with Mr. Perfect is, by definition, he was a mechanic, and quite honestly, if Austin didn't get, that moment where everything changed for him, it could have easily been Mr. Perfect, in my opinion. I mean, both those guys are just mechanics, man. I mean, they're the most stable guys that you're going to have on your roster. And I feel like in the case of Mr. Perfect at that time, when he came in, there was just no spot for him at the top. I just don't see it. Like, I can't. Where would he have fit in at that time when he first came? Flair kind of took all the light at that point, and then in WCW, entering with the NWO just kind of again put him in a disadvantage. But I mean, the consummate mechanic, man, he's just wrong times. Honestly, any other time, yeah.
I have to agree.
Yeah,
I agree too.
Which run do you think was his, perfect run, so to say? Which one would you guys say?
I would say the WWE, and no disrespect to WCW, no disrespect to any other organization. MJF will be a star, but he will never be a megastar until he goes to the WWE. Everyone needs to have that rub to be internationally known, in my opinion. So, I mean, if depending where you live in America, I guess at that time, because in Canada it's different. We got everything, at different times of the day. But I know you guys had more regional stuff in the 80s and the 90s. So if you were exposed to WCW, that's what you really knew. So, but I just think WWE, man.
I would agree too. I think his WWF run was better than his WCW run.
Yeah.
Because because when he got there, he kind of felt like a mid Carter, and then it's like, what Sam said, like with the NWO was hot. You had Sting, then you had Goldberg, DDP was coming up, Booker T was coming up, so it was just like, where was he gonna fit in as far as like being a world champion?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, and same for Scott Hall too, in that sense, right? I mean, he did get his one opportunity at Royal Rumble, but if you were going to give it to him, you would give it to him there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But then Scott Hall, didn't he win like world, like that one of them, that WCW Battle Royal or Super
War
Bowl or
Games.
something?
He won War
Yes.
Games.
World War
and
III.
then
No,
he win
World
like
War
the title.
Oh,
Didn't
World
he
War
win the
III. Yes,
title?
that's it.
No, it wasn't for the title. That was at the time. It was for like a number one contendership, basically.
right.
It was kind of like the Rumble on that punt.
Okay.
The first,
But he never got to cash in on the opportunity because
No.
he was NWO.
Well, not just that too. His personal demons had flared up at that time, and you couldn't count on them. And unfortunately,
And
it
it's
made fun of it.
And it's crazy, like when you watched it then and you saw him come into the ring drunk, you was just like thinking this part of the show. But then when you watch the documentaries now, and they talk about how he was literally like an alcoholic and stuff, it's just like, wow, like you never would have thought.
That party TNA.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, Hulk of the Road Warriors.
In WWF,
Oh, yeah.
that's right, in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
you know, going back to
I hate
Mr.
seeing
Perfect.
that out of people. I really do.
I just want to play a little fantasy booking. And Mr. Perfect, if Kurt Hennig were still with us, can you imagine him taking someone under his wing and being their mouthpiece in today's wrestling society, today's
His
wrestling
son.
world?
I was just thinking that.
That's the first thing that came in my mind too. His son.
Yeah. Better than perfect. Michael McGillicuddy.
Yes.
Man,
I mean Curtis Axel. Excuse me.
Yeah. Joe Hennig.
you just wonder what happened, because truly WWE tried to make him a superstar, and it just look, when you have Paul Heyman in your corner and you can't succeed, that says a lot.
To be fair, that era of Paul Heyman wasn't good for anybody except for Brock Lesnar. It basically became like Paul Heyman had a stable, but he didn't talk about them that much. It was still all about Brock Lesnar. Never mind that he had the King of Swing, under his wing for 10 minutes, but he didn't care about that. He had Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel. We're still just going to talk about Brock Lesnar, and Ryback is just going to be fodder for whatever proxy feud for Brock Lesnar until Brock deigns it a
And
time
he
to
was-
return.
And Paul Heyman was a manager for Cesaro too.
Yeah.
And they couldn't, and that didn't work.
Well, ironically enough, his best success came with Bo Dallas, in my opinion.
B team, go go go!
Yeah.
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 That's it. But it just goes to show, man, you can get all the pushes in the world and everything, and you still got to connect to that crowd. And if you can't do that
But yeah,
yourself, no one can help you.
Yeah.
I mean, I see that right now with Tyson. What's his name? Tyson. He's with the Down Under guy. Oh shit! Sorry, guys.
Oh, man, I know who you're talking about.
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
Or are you talking about
Not Grayson, but his
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I feel the same thing's kind of happening with him right now, right? Like, either he's going to turn the corner quick here, or I think they're dropping the ball on him, in my opinion. In that sense.
Yeah.
Considering everything he did, man. I mean, he fought with Austin. He had a program with The Rock. I mean, he's done some amazing stuff. It's just like, I wish they never gave up the gimmick with him and the cell phone. That thing was working beautifully. I don't know why they gave up on it.
And he beat John Cena too.
And he beat John Cena.
Well,
Right? So, I mean,
How do you beat the quote unquote greatest of all time and not get over?
well, that's it. Like, after that, what happened to him? Nothing.
Well, they don't play.
Well-
They never play to his strengths. He's only been entertaining when he's been a himbo.
And that's what I was going to say with him. one of the biggest problems. Well, I mean, one advantage he has is he's young,
Yeah.
so he can bounce back
Yeah.
and may be able to get to the upper
Yeah.
level once he figures it out.
But is he getting the opportunity to do so? That's what my question is. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
feel like they're underutilizing him so bad. Like I don't know. That's just my opinion, man. Like I said, when we get Raw here in Canada, we don't get the commercials. I see more Boston Theory in between commercial segments than you actually do on actual programming.
Well, I would say this for him. At least he has something to do after he eats nice catering.
Nah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, I think Mr. Perfect's one of those biggest. He's kind of one of those biggest what ifs in wrestling when it comes kind of like to the main event scene. He was definitely a top mid carder, you know, no question about it. But main event, I mean, come on.
I mean,
on.
the feud between him and Kerry Von Erich for the Intercontinental title, a lot of people don't talk about, and it was a great feud. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, and I love Kerry Von Erich. He's one of my favorite people, but Kurt made him look like $1,000,000.
Rusty said something because he's John Cena and Barry's. Well, Rusty, go eat a Ruskers. Calm down, buddy. Anyways, so segueing off of Mr. Perfect, we're going to talk about somebody else around that era, someone that I have met at one point in time, and that's Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, this guy, I mean, ultimate promo. Again, another person that didn't hold the world title. I personally don't think he even necessarily needed a title.
No.
Just because how his character was. But what's y'all's first thoughts whenever you hear Jake the Snake Roberts? And please be nice.
So I think of two things when I think of Jake the Snake. First one is the snake biting Macho Man.
Traumatized me. Absolutely traumatized me.
Second is how much work he has done to better himself with Diamond Dallas Page, with DDP.
Yeah.
Those are the two standouts for me.
Yeah, I would say psychology. He's the king of psychology. I mean, from back in the day to everything that you see now, he should be the godfather of psychology. Number two, he's such a heel that he was the catalyst that made The Undertaker become a good guy. That's what I remember. When he wanted to go out and do more damage and Taker stopped him, said no. You made the Taker a good guy.
I would say, I honestly want to say Jake the Snake never won a champion. He never was even the Intercontinental champion, right?
He didn't win any titles in the big leagues, quote unquote.
Yeah, but it's kind of like what Joe said. He's one of them guys that he didn't need a championship. But I like what Chris said. The Macho Man bite. Y'all got to remember when he threw the snake on Andre the Giant on Saturday Night's Main Event, and Andre the Giant had like a heart attack. And then at the Royal Rumble, when Jake the Snake threw the snake in the ring, and Andre the Giant ran so fast, like, dog, that had to be like one of the silliest moments. But he was definitely he was a great heel. I think he was even better baby face or whatever, but definitely a legend. Even with all this the demons and stuff that he had, he was able to pick himself back up, and he's doing good. He even remarried his ex-wife, his wife that was in the Rick Rude storyline. So, hey, kudos to him.
When it comes to Jake Roberts, all you need is 3 letters. D-D-T. The end. No, that's say what you want. That might be his biggest contribution to the business. Half joking, of course. Man is a master of psychology, and as it's been said a handful of times, does Denver needed a title because even in my head, like in my fantasy book, I'm like, no, he's almost like I mean, not a great analogy, but like Dr. Claw. Like he's just the guy in the back twirling all the wheels to, you know, make baby faces miserable, just in my own head fantasy booking. Like he's not interested in titles. He's an agent of chaos and, you know, devil's advocate, so to speak. But I just also want to just throw out there, like, if you want something fun to do and you're a nerd, just like you're bored, just go look up pictures of Jake Roberts in like 1983. Like, it's just how he used to dress and wrestle when he wrestled, and then what we see of the Snake. I mean, granted, 96 with his vest was kind of out there too, but like seeing Jake Roberts in a cowboy hat and cowboy boots and just black tights, or Jake Roberts with a giant. I mean, it was not quite a bathrobe, but it wasn't a Ric Flair fancy robe. Also, like really out there. Or when he just gave up and wore track pants. Like he wore track pants to wrestle before The Rock did.
When I think of Jake, of course, I think of the psychology. I mean, top 5 psychologists in the ring, just was perfect at that. The other thing I think about is, and y'all will probably not like me for saying this, but he was a waste in the WWE. I think if he could have, let's say, got released at his height and would have went to the NWA, I think him and Flair could have put on some magic, because he's just as, no, not just as, he's better at playing mind games and doing things. And I just, yeah, he doesn't need a title, but I would have loved to see him get a championship. And the other thing that just drives me wild with Jake, he and his family legacy that no one really talks about. I mean, his father was it
POS?
Yeah. His brother was Sam Houston. His sister was
Robin.
Rockin' Robin, thank you. And I mean, they were really a deep family. And it's amazing because a lot of times a lot of wrestlers don't like to talk about their family history and make a name for themselves. And Jake blew that out the water. I mean, you can mention Jake the Snake to anybody, and they know. Even non-wrestling fans realize who Jake the Snake Roberts is. So,
right.
Yes. Can I bring up something we haven't mentioned? In a world where everybody has to be loud and boisterous in their promos, Jake was very soft-spoken, and that got him over more than anything anyone else can do. Just those quiet, subdued promos. Chill.
It made you listen.
Yes.
That was the great thing about it. Like you said, it made you stop and shut up to listen, because he wasn't going to raise his voice. And like I like him, and I put Samoa Joe in the same way. Whatever words they're talking is meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a low, boisterous, mad. They can be just so easy and make people fear them. Is just great.
Right.
And I didn't mention my chunk, but like, can we also just like take a moment of reverence for his banger of a WCW theme from WCW Jams? Jake the Snake, he's the master of the DDT. It's like the second best song on that entire album.
Rob, you come up with the craziest stuff on this show. I swear you do.
That's the only reason you bring me back, is for the entertainment value, I feel.
And the funny part to me is like, Oh shit, I do remember that.
I'm amongst my people, nerds.
Oh man. Well, you know what? Speaking of, I think CZ. Oh, what's next on the agenda tonight, my friend? What do we got next?
So they announced the Legacy Hall of Fame inductees recently, and I think we need to talk about them a little bit.
Do we have to?
Well,
Mhm.
I mean, I can make arguments for at least two of these people, if not all three, not being in the Legacy and being in the actual Hall of Fame.
All right.
Okay, so I'm normally, even keeled, and I've evolved with wrestling. Some people are stuck in the 90s. Some people, this is bullshit, man. Like we did a whole fucking show on this last week, right? A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, whatever it was, and these three guys. First off, Ivan Koloff, just on the fact, and it was mentioned on this show, and he beat Bruno Sammartino to end his 7-year reign. Doesn't that warrant the Hall of Fame, not a legacy win? And
Yep.
no disrespect to Coco Beware, but outside of sitting pile driver, what did that guy do? That's a legacy, guy. Right or wrong? No disrespect again. No disrespect.
You right. You
Right?
right.
Like all these three guys up here right now, Kamala, he should be in there definitely. Ivan for sure. Who's the guy in the middle, sir?
That's
Dory
Dory
Jr.
Funk Jr.
Okay, Dory Funk. Just the last name alone is Hall of Fame. All three of these guys should be in this legacy stuff is nonsense. This match wing is nonsense. Like I don't know what you're pulling at now, man. I'm really starting to hate the Hall of Fame like I hate the Oscars.
No, I find the legacy wing in general to be like utterly useless. Like, are you just saying you're putting them in as lip service because you're not giving them like the actual time of day? Like, I mean, no offense intended to the Warrior recipients, but like, I would rather do away with the Warrior and allow these folks to have a proper induction. It's especially again anybody who's been a WWE WWF champion, like I feel should have a spot in the Hall of Fame. Like, yes, there's been terrible champions, but you were the champ, so you should you have a claim to fame right there. And obviously in the case of Ivan, like he beat Bruno. How many people beat Bruno in those
Maybe
days? Proper.
5, 4,
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
But time restraint wrestling. I mean, again, get rid of the Warrior. Like, most of the time, the Warrior has nothing to do with actual wrestling whatsoever because they strayed from what Ultimate Warrior's one good idea he had in his life. But yeah, like all three of those guys, like I mean, should be in the should have a regular induction and not be part of just roll call legacy induction.
It feels like a pity vote to me.
Yeah.
It feels like,
Yeah.
these guys should be here, but we don't want to give them the time of day to actually induct them, so we're going to throw them in this wing.
Honestly, I think someone was listening to our show.
And then like what's the female wrestler from back in the day, the wrestler they did the movie on? What was her name? Mildred. Yeah.
Mildred Burke, yep.
Mildred Burke.
Yeah, like they could do something for her because she's in that legacy wing, right?
Yeah, and it's bullcrap.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I agree. It's like it's kind of one of them things. Like, yeah, we ain't gonna do nothing for y'all. We just gonna throw y'all in to just say you a Hall of Famer. You know.
But
Like,
then you got Dory Funk Sr. too in this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been very quiet about this, and the reason being, I talked about the Hall of Fame and who should be in it, and we can't believe it. And then I see this, and I'm like, Ivan Koloff, okay, you're gonna throw him in the legacy wing. So I'm like, how many people are in the legacy wing? So I found an accurate placement for the Hall of Fame, and right now I'm looking at it, and it's I'm gonna tell you how many people is in the Hall of Fame. You got 249 people.
Okay.
Out of that, You got 46 that are legacy. And I'm just going to name some of the people that are legacy. Bruiser Brody.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Ray the Crippler Stevens.
Boo.
Bullshit.
Dr. Death Steve fucking Williams.
Major
Yeah.
bullshit.
Big time.
Get the Playboy, Gary Hart.
Major,
Wow.
extremely bullshit.
Frank fucking Gotch.
King Kong bullshit. King Kong.
There we go.
Luna Vachon.
Oh,
Major
Nonsense.
bullshit.
Public shame. Public shame.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's going to get
I
even
like
better.
that. Yeah.
How about Lord Alfred Hayes?
I gotta go, guys. Fuck
I
that,
didn't even
man.
know he was in there.
So,
Wow.
They still
Lou
use his sound
Thesz.
bites. And they,
Lou Thesz.
Wow.
So, with all that being said, this is what I'm going to mention. Y'all are right. It is bullshit. And all the people that are in there are passed away.
Right.
And I sat there and thought to myself, what is the requirements to get the Hall of Fame? What's the difference between the Hall of Fame and the legacy? Because some of the Hall of Fame people are gone, that passed away, but you still put them in the Hall. What the hell?
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason about it. And again, I'm not necessarily mad that they just put them in the legacy. Most people didn't even realize they have a legacy wing.
yeah.
I think what makes this a bit more harder is knowing. And again, I've never, I've been in the ring. I've taken a bump here and there, but I've not done it like these guys have, right? At any level, right? Including yourself, Joe. You know what I mean? So I mean, nothing but respect with anything I say. But Tugboat, of all the guys, like John Tenta, sure, Earthquake, he had a legacy, but Tugboat was there for like 10 minutes. And the guy's known for tripping over the set at Taskmaster or whatever he was. Shockmaster, sorry.
Uncle
Right? That's
Freya.
his greatest- Right. Like, dude, that's his greatest claim to fame. Like, if anyone should be legacy, it's Tugboat. Right or wrong? Like, how does he get a regular spot? Like, I don't get it. This is where it's all wrong. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
That's my biggest point to this whole thing. If they would let us know, which they're not, because hey, we're just wrestling fans. What do we know? But they're not going to tell us what is the requirements to get into the Hall and what's the requirements that they put the legacy. That would make more. If they let us know, maybe, just maybe, we would be more understanding of why they did it.
Yeah.
But like this, Triple H has done so much. I would never take what he has done for the business away. But you're there. You ain't going nowhere. You're 10 toes down a WWE person. Why waste that spot for you? Why not give it to someone else? That's the problem I see. That they don't. It's almost. I feel like it's an assault to the wrestlers. Just like the matches, the one Brett and Austin. Drop that crap. They could have put those three men in the Hall instead of the legacy.
Yes.
They're already in the Hall of Fame.
The biggest mistake of this year is that Bray Wyatt's not going in. I get it. Last year, too close to WrestleMania when everything happened. I completely understand the timing of it, but this should have been the year that Bray went in. Him and Luke Harper should have gone in this year.
No disrespect to Bray. If Ivan Koloff, the man that stopped Bruno Sammartino, arguably the greatest world champion in history, can't get in, what the hell? What? Bray again, I love these guys, and I'm not trying to put one above another, but again, exactly. Stan Hansen broke his neck, got put in the Hall of Fame. But again, why would he go before Ivan?
Yeah.
And on top of that, what Ivan did for the business. Look, Nikita, the Russians. He's played so much into the business, not just one, but the business as a whole. And again, I get worked up about this because it's no rhyme or reason. And then you look at people who are sitting here that don't get a sniff of it. You put the Rock and Roll Express in it, but you don't put the main nemesis, the Midnight Express, and Jim Cornette. What the what? What's
Can I
man?
drop it? Can I drop it?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Thank you.
The other thing with Ivan, sorry, Professor, before I forget the thought. The other thing with Ivan, remember, he beat Bruno during the height of the Cold War with you guys.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, that was like pinnacle at that. That was a scary time for anyone trying to be a Russian in wrestling, right? I mean,
oh yeah. Matter of fact, because I did this on my show, so I did some research and stuff. But when Ivan Koloff won the title, they had to get police SWAT into the garden to escort him out.
Yeah.
This is how big, again, because I will argue anybody. Just if I'm everybody knows I'm a Ric Flair guy.
Mm-hmm.
But Ric Flair versus Bruno, I would have a hard time justifying Flair going over Bruno. And I mean, and I'm being real.
Mm.
Okay, I think I finally got it out.
Ready to
I'm
take a
gonna
breath?
go ahead and give you some more. Freaking Kamala.
And sorry, Rusty, I didn't mean to go off, but that's just a sore subject with me.
I mean, look at Kamala too. We can argue that Kamala 100% deserves his individual induction.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The program with Hogan,
Yeah.
right?
And-
I mean, all of it. Just Kamala, man. I think he was my favorite. Before the Undertaker showed up, I was a Kamala guy, man. I love that guy.
Or as
Yeah.
people down south probably know him better as Sugar Bear.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Push it and pull it.
And I was having a discussion about this with a friend of mine earlier today. And I'm going to try not to ruffle any feathers because I have a lot of respect for some of the names that I'm going to mention. But you have people that have not even ever set foot in a WWE, WWF ring as Hall of Famers, not in the legacy wing. I'm going to name one that's going to piss people off or may piss people off. Inoki, Antonio Inoki.
Yeah.
I respect him to death. He did so much for the wrestling business. He deserves to be in there. But this is the WWE Hall of Fame. And these guys were in the WWE. Oh, I know, Joe. I know. These guys were in the WWE. They were big names. They did big things. And they're getting in the legacy. They're getting this. This is like they're shitting on them to me.
Yeah.
I agree.
One of the to jump on with you. One name that's never wrestled in WWE, and he got into it. Abdullah the Butcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, this is, and see, that's why it just irritates me. If it was just about the WWE, then okay, I want to understand. If it's not, if it's about the big names in wrestling, period, okay, I would understand. But they go with no rhyme or reason to why they're putting people in these spots. And a lot of and I know I'm not the only one with any of the three. We can have a justified reason of saying, why did y'all put them in the legacy? Is it because they're past? And then if that's the case, okay, that would make sense. But then they turn around and Eddie Guerrero, they put him in, but he passed.
Yeah.
It's like, make up your mind.
I mean,
Up your mind.
No, and if
some
you're
can
talking
say
about
if you're talking about somebody's past, someone throw this at you. Look at Scott Hall and the man we just previously talked about, Jake Roberts. They had sketchy passes, for crying out loud. Mind you, they ended up cleaning up, just like I believe these men ended up doing towards the end of their lifetime. But why? What's the differentiation between them and?
So if I may just piggyback off what you're saying here, we're talking about past, right? When
Yeah.
we talk about Scott Hall and when we're talking about Jake Roberts, they're self-destructive themselves. They don't necessarily hurt anyone else, but they hurt themselves, which is what probably cost them their opportunities and stuff that we've been talking about earlier. Now you look at a guy like Abdul the Butcher, for example. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy knowingly fought with TV, and we know what kind of matches the man had. So that's dangerous in my opinion. Like how does that get in, right? I mean, again, no rhyme or reason, right? You look at the Hall of Fames and the other major sports. I know gambling is a bad thing, this and that, but guys are getting in there for hitting their women and abuse and
Jimmy Snuka.
Jimmy Snuka, who's the guy?
Mula.
The Baltimore Ravens fella. He ran over a bunch of people. They died. He's in the Hall of Fame. Ray Lewis. Right? Like, I mean, I know it's off topic that way, but just an example, like, there is no clear criteria, obviously, because you could be a murderer, you can do horrible things to other people and still get in, but
Well,
people that are good and stuff like that end up in the legacy. What did Kamala ever do wrong, man? He's like the sweetest man in the world.
Mula.
Yep.
yeah.
Mula
And
Mula was the dirtiest of them all.
well, and
He was a chick.
when I said their past, I wasn't talking about personal. I was talking about the as far as their wrestling career, maybe the past of. I meant they passed away. They were
No, I get that, but that kind of triggers that thought. Like, I sort of think
right.
that's okay, but I mean,
But and here's another thing. They taking people out the hall.
yeah,
They took Hogan out,
Thank God.
but he
but
got
they
back
put him
in.
right back.
Yep.
Bullshit.
So again, you have no rhyme or reason to what they do, and they can't tell you. I guarantee you, nobody could tell us why they picked this person to go this way. If it's time constraint, then hell, don't do the match crap. 'Cause
Yeah.
to me, that's crap.
Yeah.
We want the people in, not their matches.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, hell, Triple H will be in there like 1,800 times.
Oh, just wait.
Undertaker will be in there
They're testing the waters
45.
right now.
Say again.
They're testing the waters right now.
Look, they need to drink unplug the plug and let it drown out because it's stupid.
With all due respect to Triple H, though, man, technically he's already in the Hall of Fame, man. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DX is in the Hall of Fame, aren't
Got
they?
the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
DX.
Yeah.
we argued people's checkered past and stuff. China, I mean, they made an argument because they didn't want, kids Googling her and then bring it up, what she did later in life. But
Yeah.
But
Jimmy
wasn't the
Snuka.
guy that
Jimmy Snuka, ugh.
Yeah, but what X-Pac got in, and he was the other guy in the video.
Exactly.
Well, but to be fair, I mean, if we're gonna make a tier system, he only did the one video. China has a handful.
True.
Fair enough.
And she got paid for it, so.
God bless her. But
My last thing I'm gonna say. This is why there are different Hall of Fames for people to put in what they think is a deserving person. This is why, just like the list I had, it showed me the NWA Hall of Fame, it showed me WCW, it showed the Ring of Honor, TNA, it showed every Hall of Fame that was out there. And I was looking through it and I'm like, wow, Why wasn't he in the Hall of Fame? Okay, well, he's in this Hall of Fame. Why he's not in the other? So I get it and I respect it, but it's just very I understand they're trying to celebrate people's lives and give them their flowers, but I just find it insulting that some people haven't got their flowers.
Yes.
I agree.
And it's a shame that there's some people that are never going to get them because of their history, what happened in WWE. I'm talking about Owen Hart, who deserves more than anyone else to be in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
And I understand his family's stance.
You can't even blame the WWE on this one, man.
No, you can't. I'm not blaming the WWE, but
Yeah.
he should be in there. And if Brett and Sean and Brett and Vince can mend fences, then maybe Owen's family can too. But at the same time, I mentioned Bret Hart. If he can't mend fences with Bill Goldberg, then maybe that's never going to happen either.
I don't know, that might be a gimmick at this point.
Well,
I might be retirement match.
oh Jesus! Let's shift some gears. Let's go to some good news. WWE 2K25 has finally uploaded its one of its patches, and we got a lot of stuff out of this patch. We got the Saturday Night's Main Event Arena. We finally, thank the good Lord above, got the DX Titantrons. We had the music and the damn tag team motion, but we didn't have the Trons. Yet we have still yet to have Evolution. I'm still going to be picky on that, but that's just me. We got the upgraded NXT titles. I had this conversation with Tanner earlier. It's like, man, it's great that they're doing these with these patches, but why not already have that is what he asked. And what I have thought, because that was earlier today, and my thought is they're trying to make this game as big as possible. 2K24, I think everyone here can agree, was a great game. 2K25 is actually starting to look that way. And if they keep up with the updates and patches like they're doing, it may, surpass 2K24. So what's your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think 2K25, if they keep the patches the way it's going, like fixing all the bugs, and especially with My Faction, they're actually adding Persona cards as locker codes, well, Dominic Mysterio and a Roman Reigns, for an example. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Money driven. I mean, well, and let's be real, they're never going to be able to come out with the perfect game. You're always going to have patches because you're going to have people that are new in WWE that they missed. So you're going to do that. They're trying to make it enjoyable for all of us, and I think I'm glad of that. They've actually they've listened more to us as fans of the game that we want and what we would desire, and they're trying to do it. So I give them a pass on anything, but again, they always out to get extra money until the new one's there.
I kind of wish, and I know why they don't do this, I kind of wish there would not be a game every single year. I wish they would do every 2 or 3 years and then just incorporate one of those patches or downloadable content with new talent that are coming in. Yeah, I agree with that, Brady.
I have to agree too.
Yeah.
But no, I think if it weren't such a cash grab, that's the biggest thing about it. And My Faction is the biggest one of all. I fully admit I've fallen into that trap and I hate myself for it. But if it weren't such a cash grab, I think they would have a lot more fans and get a lot more traction if the games were released more staggered with updated rosters on a yearly basis instead of just every year here's a new game.
I mean, at least this year they've tried to make My Faction kind of sort of worth it with the World Tour.
Yes.
That was a big upgrade, I think. Aside from, having Persona cards as locker codes, which I think they should do in the first place, or you may make it more accessible and unlockable than put it in a live event, or you have to buy so many packs in order to get the Persona card, which I think is a load of crap. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I can argue that my faction is slowly getting better. I'm still not a fan of it. I'm a fan of the World Tour now. If they kept it specifically like that, I think they would have more fans.
Yeah. I love
Well-
the World Tour mode. It's fantastic.
So I'm gonna have to listen to all you guys talk about the game because I don't own it. I just actually got a PlayStation 5 for my birthday last weekend, so I finally got one.
Aren't you fancy? I'm still rocking the 4.
Hey, dude, you know what? I got the 4 on my 40th, and I got the 5 on my 50th. So say what you want. I have no games. But all my PS4 games work on there. And remember, I told you guys I still have games that were in cellophane. One of those games was WWE Battleground.
Oh wow!
Wow.
So I'm playing that right now, and it's fun. I don't have to think. There's nothing hard about it. It's just playing a wrestling game. Listening to you guys talk about factions and all this stuff makes me kind of wonder if I want to buy it. Because I'm an old school gamer. Like, I don't do online stuff at all because I can't justify paying to get my ass kicked. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? So a lot of times when I do buy games, I just buy them to play the game. I don't go online.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that stuff. I never did that with God, Call of Duty or any of them, to be honest. It's just never been me. I just play video games to play a video game. So, like my PS4, I've had it for 10 years. I probably only use 4% of its capabilities, right? So, I don't know. Should I buy this game? Or should I
Mike
wait
D,
for Boxing Day when it's on sale?
Yo.
you just bought this game. What would you say?
So far I haven't played an actual match. I've been actually setting up my universe mode, and I like it. I set up a WWE and a WCW roster, so I've just been setting up the shows. But the way that they got it now with the day 2 and the day 1 and day 2 PLEs, and you can have pay-per-views on different days, and they definitely tweaked it up. What I would like to see with universe mode going further, I would like to see them combine it with GM mode, sort of like with 2K, NBA 2K.
Yes.
How they got the My NBA and you could kind of customize it how you want it. I would like to see them do something like that where we could have a draft in universe mode. You could possibly have GMs, and I don't know. I think it's definitely ways that they can make universe mode better, because it still kind of feel like THQ a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're getting there. The graphics are crazy dope. I'm gonna get into the showcase with the bloodline. I just hate you got to unlock all these characters now. At first, you could they was all part of the little My Rise pack or the supercharger, and you'll have them all. They're making you work for it now.
Yeah, even getting the expensive.
Right. They say you ain't getting the Steiner brothers this time. You got to work for
them. As a person who don't like video games and don't play them, and the one thing about it that really sets it apart from anything else is we get to do wrestling the way we want to. That's what it's like. Hey, you set up WCW, you can set up ECW, you can set up Ring of Honor, you can set up TNA, and you can live out your fantasies on the video game. Personally, that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
And the last few, I'm just stuck on GM because it's easier. I can make the matches. I can see how smart I am versus the computer or different people. And it's just a way of living out my dream. So, but see, I don't know much because I don't play a lot of video games. I mean, I really don't. Don't.
Well, it's like me, man. I mean, I'm really grateful for that wonderful gift that I got from my family, but I kind of looked at it like, I don't even play video games anymore. I'm so busy doing everything else. It's just like I'm looking at it and I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? I get you, Bear. I get you completely, but I don't know. Should I buy this game or not, man? Because there's only 2 games I'm really waiting for. I'm waiting for GTA 6 and the F1 game coming out later next month.
Hey, it's on sale. It's on sale right now. So if this is the time to grab it.
Yeah, before they hit it with tariffs.
Oh God, Rob, you're being awful quiet with this, man. What's your thoughts on it?
I was letting Bear go off. He's just really going off tonight, and I'm just having some popcorn and enjoying the show.
Joe, did you overwind Bear before we started the show? Did you overwind
No.
Right?
But like
cocaine Bear.
Like I haven't done like too much with it. Like for me, like a lot of times, like the WWE games has kind of been like a social game for me and my friends, but we don't play online. Like we go see each other, and we're getting old, and things have happened in our life, and it's just been difficult to get together and go through universe mode. That was our main thing we used to do. So I haven't done a whole lot. I've gotten through the bloodline mode. I'm some percentage into my rise right now. I enjoy my faction a little bit more, but I still think it's a waste of game space. I think there's so many other improvements they could have made, or just details they could have added, extra arenas, extra characters, etc., etc., etc. But I've actually, like, compared to last year, I've actually fallen down the creator wrestler rabbit hole, and I haven't had that spark of creativity in a couple of years. And so, like, I even got like proud and put some of the stuff online, and so I got in good with a couple of the local wrestlers who I made cause of. And actually, fun story. So there's one of our local wrestlers. I'll name drop him, Augustus Draven. Super cool dude, super great dude. But like he was on Confusion a couple months ago, and he did talk about how like his original gimmick, like the original incarnation of Augustus Draven started as a WWE, like I forget what year he actually started, but started as a creator wrestler, and then he's modified it to take it on the independent circuit now. And like when I posted online, I snitch tagged everybody, and just like, hey everyone, I'm cool. Look what I did for you guys. He actually sent me pictures of his OG cause, like in my DMs. He's like, did you make that? That was sweet. Like, this is what we did. And like, these are old school stuff before you could take snapshots with the PlayStation or the Xbox. So they're like, snapshots of a TV screen of like 2014 Augustus Raven. And I thought that was sweet. But yeah, I've fallen down the creative wrestler rabbit hole and got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 in, which isn't much big picture wise, but it takes a lot of time to create someone halfway decent. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, there's a certain cowboy that I had to make sure I throw ladders at on a day-to-day basis too.
So I was gonna call you out if you hadn't said it yourself, Rob.
Generic cowboy punching bag, I think he's labeled as.
Have some respect for commanders, man. Come on.
Actually, there's so I did note that I did create him, and the picture of him is him unconscious in the ring, like top down, like you're staring from the lights of an unconscious Manders.
You're going to eat a lariat, Rob. You're going to eat one from him one of these days. I'm going to laugh when you do.
Yep.
I can take him. It's fine.
I'm going to be there to film it, Joe.
Oh God, I hope
you
so.
threatened to referee the match.
And Rob,
and you know how I feel about referees.
I do, and I would be the most biased ref you've ever seen.
Stripes Jr., I tells you.
Well, gentlemen, this has been a great episode. I'm happy to see everybody here smiling and everything, but I got to get serious for a moment. There's been a lot going around in our community. Of one specific person, I'm not going to name him because I don't want to name drop him and give him publicity. Having some issues with a friend of ours, Jana Pride.
Yes.
And here's my thoughts on this whole thing. A lot of people has individually asked me, what's my thought on it? Get with me, Brady. We may talk about that. But here's my thing. If you don't like someone's point of view, or someone who is in the LGBTQ plus community but they're also working their butts off in the wrestling community, and they just don't agree with your views, that does not give you permission to go out and blast them. That's just you being a pure asshole, for one. For two, if you don't like it and if you don't have nothing nice to say, shut up and not say it. The only reason I'm saying something is because it's getting escalated to where my friend don't feel comfortable getting out of her house anymore. And that's some bullcrap. I even invited her to come on tonight, and she goes, I don't feel comfortable with it. But this, I want to stress one thing to everybody. I don't care if you identify what you identify. You can identify as a cat for all I care. As long as you love and respect the sport of professional wrestling like we all do, you're more than welcome to have a spot here on the show. You're more than welcome to post anything. And I want to speak probably on WSN's behalf, if you don't mind, Bear. I see a lot of people post on our, page. Don't matter who you are. We're just wrestling fans having a good time. And it kills me when we get one of these stupid trolls just try to bash somebody just because they disagree in their belief system. And I can't. It ticks me off. I've been silent enough on it, but just shut the hell up and enjoy professional wrestling, damn it.
Absolutely. And if I may, please, if you do identify as a cat, remember it's against the law to drive a car.
Gotta have a license.
Well, there you go.
In the immortal words of David Lynch, I offer this.
Ooh, David Lynch.
Fix your hearts or die.
Jesus Christ.
So
And
I identify myself as a bear. That's a professor. I do not give a shit if you don't like somebody. If you're on our website, if you're on our Facebook page, if I see you doing it, I'm gonna tear you a new one.
If you think he's bad cocaine bear, make Bear angry.
I mean, again, we have wrestling. No, wrestling was made for all of us. If you don't like what particular style or who a person is, you have so many different ways and stuff to go look at. Go do that. Stop being a little internet gangster before somebody really put paws on your ass. I'm just saying.
You know what? And being wrestling fans and wrestling in general. Let's look at it, man. Adrian Adonis, Gorgeous George.
Yes.
These guys were doing this stuff way before any of this was ever prominent or has the steam behind it that it has now. I always say on my show as well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people think of you or what they perceive of you. If all they think is negative of you, that's a blessing. Because as far as I'm concerned, those are people you don't need to focus on or put your energy on. Right? That's the bottom line, man. If you hate me, I love it because now I know I don't have to work at trying to be your friend.
Well, I got too many friends anyway, so
Exactly. That's what I say to
you're
people
looking
too.
for somebody to hate Professor Bear. I got a big enough back. I'm mean enough. I don't care. I got time in the day.
He literally don't. He's almost been in the fights at shows.
See, I can't see it, man. I see you as this happy, joyful guy. I'd love to see the other side of Bear one day from afar.
No, you don't.
Far.
No, you don't. It's
From
scary.
afar.
Mike D, I know you want to say something on this subject because me and you talked off camera about it.
Ah, man, it's not called for. It's childish. It make you look like a sucker, especially when you're the one that's in the wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not called for. We don't need it. The wrestling community is a group of cool people. Everybody, working together to help each other out, whether it's podcasting, independent wrestling. Hey, we don't need a toxic community like the NBA, rap music. We don't need the toxic shit. And at the end of the day, we just need to just get over this and make wrestling great again.
Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, in the mortal words of Jackie Moon, everybody love everybody.
I'll chime in here also. As much as Professor Bear identifies as a bear and a professor, I identify myself as a wizard. But I also identify myself as a safe place for anyone. I know you mentioned Jaina before. I've invited her onto Card Subject to Change. She respectfully declined, and I respect her decision, but the door is always open for not only her, but for anyone. Card Subject to Change, myself, always going to be a safe place because I have friends that are part of the LGBTQ community. And I don't want to, I wouldn't hurt them, and I wouldn't hurt any one of their brethren. I wouldn't hurt anybody, period, but especially my friends who are part of that community.
Right. And it's not necessarily just the LGBTQ plus community. It's everybody. It is everybody. If you're a pure diehard wrestling fan and you just want to bullshit and talk about wrestling, right here's the safest place you can be.
And if you're in Canada, you can come
idiots, ruining it for everybody.
And if you guys are in Canada, our show's very safe as well.
I'm about to move to Canada if everything keeps like it is, but
I was just about to say, if this is your tipping point, and we got all this crap going on in the world today, that's your tipping point. You are just small-minded waste of humans' body. Because
this is why, and I'm going to say North America here, guys. Even up north, we're facing the same kind of crap that you guys are dealing with down there. Maybe not at the scales, but it's happening now. It's more prevalent. I'm telling you, man, North America, it's because of these issues that are the headlines, not, poverty or all the things that are actually need to be addressed in both our nations. This is why we're a laughing stock of the world now, man. North America has lost its spot in terms of that respect. And that includes Canada now, too. People laugh at us. Fucking Joe Rogan won't even come to Canada.
And then, just to go back on the situation with Jaina Pride, at the end of the day, the stuff that you're doing to her, you're not doing nothing but hurting yourself when it comes to collaborating with other people.
Yes.
Because when people see this, who wants to work with you? Because not only they don't want to hurt their brand, you know what I'm saying? And I just, like I said, it's not called for, it's childish, and make wrestling great again.
I'm completely unfamiliar with what happened here, but I'm sure it's horrible. And if she's watching, I'm sorry. I really am. I wish it didn't happen to you. I wish it didn't happen to anybody. Even if I don't like you, I don't want that to happen to anybody.
Right. We don't have to love each other or like each other. We just got to respect each other. That's it.
That's it, man. We're all different views. All of us have our own opinions, right? We all agree on a lot, and I'm sure we differentiate on a lot, but that's what makes democracy, the world, a good place that way. And we can all still collaborate, right? Like, think about it. You go to a stadium. Imagine 80,000 people watching WrestleMania. Not all of them agree on everything. Different walks of life, different religions, different cultures, different musical aspirations, different favorite foods. But for those 3 hours, everybody's on the same page. That's the beauty of wrestling. That's the beauty of music. And that's what I think people need to understand.
I agree.
Amen.
Sport in general.
100% agree. Yep, there you go. What Brady just said. So what is the point? You bearing any chance of your possible career in business? I mean, that's 100% right.
And you're more stupid in this generation to do it because of all the ways that people can capture you. Video phone, camera phone, this phone. You name it, man. You can't get away with nothing. I'm lucky. Bear's lucky. We grew up in the 80s where we got away with shit.
Man.
Technically, we should probably both be in jail. But we didn't have cameras. We didn't have nothing bothering us. We just
and we were smart enough not to snitch on ourselves.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Well, my generation's just a bunch of idiots, I guess. I don't know, but
I won't say that. I just think different times. It's like wrestling; it's evolved, right? Constantly. Like there's people I know that won't leave the Attitude Era. They refuse to accept what wrestling is today. You know, like and for me, for all of us here, we could have all walked into one era and said, "Well, today's product is shit," but we still watch it. Or I'm
Exactly.
kidding, or I got SmackDown on in the background, right? Like I still watch it. I still accept it for what it is.
Well, there's
It's
so
You're gonna
much
wrestling.
evolve,
nowadays. There's so
but you're
much
gonna
nowadays
evolve with
that
it.
there's no reason for you to watch something you don't like.
Well,
It's
that's the
man.
thing.
Agreed.
But it's just evolving with the program. It's evolving with the sport, right? I mean, NBA. As far as I'm concerned, best NBA was the '80s and '90s. The 2000s and 2000 up until now, it's been shit.
Agreed.
But that's how
Well,
the sport's evolved.
right. I just wanted to touch on that because I'm just like, a lot of people are already speaking against it. I just wanted to say my piece with it because we have Jane is a really good friend of ours. She works her butt off, not only in podcasting, but she's an amazing ref, an amazing producer outside of podcasting. And she shouldn't let some ugly little troll that sits behind a fucking computer scare her out of this. And
And
So I'm sorry,
and I think
she transitioned?
no, she's been a referee for a while, but she referees
No,
and
I apologize.
podcast.
Is she like, I'm trying to understand the context of what happened here. Like, this lady, is she transitioned? Like,
She's a big supporter of the LGBTQ plus
oh,
community and a part of it.
okay,
And
okay, okay.
that was the whole problem.
well,
Okay. Fair enough. That's all I need to know.
and I think I'm safe to say this. Any one of these gentlemen would be great and would love to have you and talk wrestling. And like all of us said, this is a safe space. You feel free to come on. We can talk. And I guarantee you, we will not let and put up with any of that crap.
Yep,
Definitely.
we've shut it
We'd
down
love to
before.
have you on the show. Absolutely. Come on up to Canada. It's safe here. No one knows you up here, so you can talk all the wrestling you want and feel safe.
Yep, and that goes for anybody. If you feel like that, how can I say this? If you feel like you're getting downgraded just because of what you believe in, and some assholes, being an asshole, just come to us or find somebody that you're like, hey, that's cool, but we're not negative here. We're just here to bullshit and talk about wrestling because that's what we all enjoy and love.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well said.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Quick
Negative
question,
crowd.
Julia dropped the title because she was injured and she was supposed to be gone for a long time. Why'd she come back so fast? And now she's a heel.
Wrestling.
Great question.
I'm
Wrestling.
That match should have happened at Saturday morning before first night, right? At deadline.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm confused by that. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's all.
Right. No problem. All right, gentlemen, it has been great. Go ahead, do your plugs, find out where everybody can find you at. Rob, we'll start with you. Where can the fine people find you at, sir?
The Confusion Wrestling Podcast, the last bastion of independent wrestling, can be found on Spotify and wherever else you happen to find your podcasts at. We might be anywhere, and if we're not somewhere, let me know, and I'll probably find a way to pop that podcast up there. We drop every Friday morning with a mixture of independent wrestler interviews and reviews of various wrestling promotions. This week, we are going back to old wrestling as a nod to a guest of the show, Marion Fontaine. So we checked out Wrestling Shows that happens to be on YouTube for free. So we're giving that a shout out this week.
Okay, Mike D.
Real quick, want to give a shout out to Brady. He gave me a shout out earlier. I had missed it. So what's up, Brady? Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're getting close to 4,700 subscribers. Over 1.6 million views. So yeah, I'm just chilling. Make wrestling great again.
God, we got his slogan already. All right. Sam, where can we find you at, brother?
Yeah, Stop and Chance. We're everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. 6,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to everyone out there for getting on board with us. We love it. We're probably the only West Coast wrestling podcast that I know of on the West Coast of Canada. We do 2 shows a week. We're also a boxing podcast as well, guys. Tuesday wrestling and Thursday boxing. So yeah, you can get your feel for everything. I'm biased, and it's kind of we kind of look at things from a different perspective on our show. So yeah, come and check us out.
All right. And last and certainly not least, Bear, or we should call you Cocaine Bear tonight because you've been on the road. But
Roar.
tell the people where they can find us at.
You can find us at thewrestlingsociety.com. That's our web page. We have a Facebook page that has, if I am correct, I think we have hit the 4,700 mark. We're
Awesome.
close to getting to 5,000. So please, first, thank you, and please continue to join us. And we have fun. We have facts. We have everything. So, and a quick shout out. Last weekend, I went to 2 independent shows, and it was phenomenal. And it reinforced to me why I love wrestling. Just being able to take myself out of it and looking at the fans, how the kids reacted, how the wrestlers. Yes. Oh, our app, definitely check our app out. You get on it, you won't be able to get off of it. And it's free. It's a WSN. But going back, I just took a minute to look and enjoy the smiling faces on the kids, their parents, the grown adults, and the wrestlers themselves. It's such more than wrestling for me. I look at it now as going to a family reunion because I consider everybody who loves wrestling a family member.
Well, shit, I guess I'm adopted. Lizard, where can the fine people find you aside from the No Cell Roundtable, sir?
When I am not on the No Cell Roundtable, I am over at Card Subject to Change. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube. We do have a presence on X, but we don't use it very much. But we are on Instagram. We consider ourselves the podcast by the fan, for the fan. We do a lot of interviews with independent wrestlers. We review all the big dog shows, and that's what's coming up this week. You can normally find our show Sunday at 6:30 Central Time. We're trying to solidify what we're doing this Sunday. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag because we're kind of on the fence as to where we're going, but we'll be doing a WrestleMania panel next Wednesday and reviewing Stand and Deliver Night 1 and Night 1 of WrestleMania on Saturday, and then back on Tuesday the following week to review Night 2 and the Raw After Mania. So big week for us. We're excited about that.
Very cool, very cool.
Well, I got some great news. The History of Pro Wrestling will be back next Wednesday. I'm going to be posting it on the Joe Monroe Show YouTube channel Wednesday morning. We're going to be talking about the history of WrestleMania since it's WrestleMania week. And you can always find me right here at the No Cell Roundtable. I guess since CZ's the Wizard, I'm the king. So, like that, Joe? Oh, okay. Yeah, funny. Haha, Irish joke. I got it. You're funny, Brady. You're a funny guy. Anyways, I love Brady and I love Bear and I love WSN because that's where you're going to find me. I'll be hanging out there either in the back producing or right here on the show. You can also check me out on Facebook. I don't have an X account because I don't believe in X. Instagram, TikTok before it goes away again, and YouTube and Twitch. We're actually streaming on Twitch right now. Thank goodness it's working again. So check me out there. We will see you next week. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about, but we'll talk about a few things. Until next week, we'll see you soon. And please, for the love of God, shut up and enjoy professional wrestling. But for those who thank you, Brady. Thank you, buddy. But for all those who love and support wrestling like we do, thank you all for loving and supporting the sport. Because guess what? Aside of what the troll says, it's a sport. All right. We will see you all next week. Take care
Have a great and lovely weekend.
Peace.